The Stay Cool trophy requires you to complete any special operation without exceeding 50% on the PG240X's temperature meter. Best to do this on the Maceo map on standard difficulty. Now I'm just going to run basically straight to the airfield. I'm not going to worry about any of the enemies, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut to that point. Now it's very important to keep the temperature cool. Now you only do that by staying in the shade, and then when it gets too warm, putting it in water, and that'll reduce the temperature. When you get to the airfield, you're going to have to clear everybody out. You're going to grab the key card from this guy here, and then grab the 240X. Now the best strategy I found for this is just to kind of go out the south exit of this once you acquire the device, and then just stay along the edge. There will be 3 camps with some enemies in there, but inside those camps are going to be some water sources, one in each of them. I'm not going to worry about the enemies at all on the way back. I am only going to worry about the temperature on this 240X, the PG240X. So here it is. Now in order to see the temperature, you're going to have to use your weapon wheel and equip it. In fact, I'm not going to really use my gun at all until I get to the very end. And when you get to the very end, you're going to be in an apartment complex. I'm just going to stand on top of one of the buildings. So I'm going to have a water source at my disposal at all times. I'm not going to go any more than 5 feet away from it. I will poke some holes in the side of it as well, because water will then drip out on top of me. And then it's just a matter of clearing the enemies as they come out slowly, one at a time, it feels like. So again, I'm going to go to this kind of the south exit here. Stay in the shade as much as possible. As you can see, when I'm out in the sun, the temperature will rise. It'll stop rising when you're in the shade. But in order to make it go down again, you have to put it in water. Now here's a camp with some people. Inside of here will be a water source. You will see it in the back. Kind of like a waterfall there. There will be 2 other camps as well. But there's really nothing you really need to do other than make sure you're mindful of the temperature. If you're playing it on standard difficulty, don't really worry about the enemies at all until you get to the end. There's another camp just ahead. We're going to use the water there as well. Doing a pretty good job staying in the shade. There's only 1 bar on the temperature gauge. Can't fit through there, as I found out. I'm too fat. There's a car wash here. My temperature's really good. I probably could have just skipped this camp altogether. Here is the final water spot before we get to the apartment complex at the very end. This one has a water tank here. You got to use the valve on the back side of it. Definitely make sure you use this one before moving on to the apartment area. All right, so we are now heading up to the apartments. I'm going to climb a ladder, and then I'm going to just, again, tie myself to this water tank that's at the very top here, and then just clear out the rest of the enemies. It does take a little bit. Not entirely thrilled with the long gun that I'm using. That's just me. That's a bad loadout. There will be eventually one tank as well. I'll use my explosive Supremo in order to take it out. So here, just take out the enemies as slowly as you want. Just make sure you keep your temperature. You have to switch between your gun and the PG240X from time to time to make sure the temperature is good. Again, I'm going to poke some holes on the front of it so I can just stand in front of the water. And there's really nothing more I have to tell you. Just, again, be mindful of the tank that comes, and then just slowly take out the rest of these enemies. I'll let you go ahead and watch the rest of it, but that's basically the tutorial and the guide for Stay Cool. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, and we'll see you soon.
I've got mud in all my cracks, and this place is a total horror show. But other than that, I'm good. Where are you?
I'm stuck at a checkpoint. This soldado, who I paid fucking good money to, is hassling me about some missing TVs. I'm about to lose my shit and show him my weapons catalog.
Just stay calm, Lola. I'll deal with the soldados until you're here. Tell me you're close.
Still held up. That little come mierda called his commanding officer. I could shut those TVs up his... Don't worry. Lola's got this.
Just get over here, compai.
That soldado come mierda finally let me go, Danny. But now I got FND on my ass. I have to get creative.
Loose them. I'll clear the ones around me. Good. Now get me out of here so I can take a shower and book a fucking therapy session. Great job, Guerrilla. Oh,